Welcome, everybody, to Night of the Nerdy Laser podcast, episode 151. I'm your host, Richard. Jeff hates dubbing Yule.
Oui, I'm Jeff Lown.
No, it's yes.
That's true.
That's only funny if you watch us on YouTube, which you can find us at Night of the Nerdy Laser. We are going to okay, first off, have we ever done a Netflix movie?
I don't think so.
Oh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah, that was like a special episode.
That's true. But have we ever done a shark movie? I don't think we have.
I don't think so.
I wanted to do
animal attack stuff in general.
I wanted to do Shark Encounters of a Third Kind, but we never did. I've never seen it, and I still need to see that.
Look, I watched through. We're talking about Under Paris.
We are from 2024. Secretly, kind of dropped on Netflix.
Yeah, it made their top 10. I guess.
I swear, if Netflix ever goes under, it's just their own doing. Like they don't. Like, I just think it's funny. It's like one of the biggest movies of 2023 is Godzilla -1. And on a Saturday morning, I wake up to like, oh, Godzilla -1 is on Netflix. It's like, why are you not pumping that out to everywhere?
Yeah, you told me about that, and you're like, you got to watch it. You got to watch it.
And you still haven't watched it.
Still haven't watched it. And I was super excited to see it, too. But then, like, something about Netflix. I mean, I like some of it and like some of the options they have, but part of me is just like, nope, don't want to watch it because it's on Netflix.
Well, Netflix is one of the like staples, right? Like you almost
they are streaming.
I mean, they started it, right? Like they're the kings.
Yup.
And so you feel like you have to have Netflix, even though I don't watch it a whole lot.
My dad watches my Netflix like 1,000 times more than I do.
Max is probably my favorite.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got like everything that you could want. I mean, they got Criterion Collection stuff. They have like Warner Brothers stuff. They got all the Discovery shows now. HGTV, yeah. I mean, they got Ghost Adventures. So I'm like, oh yeah. All the paranormal shows that are on the Stupid Travel channel, like I watch them on there. I was just watching some Ghost Adventures before I got on here, but yeah, it's I like them. I used to like Hulu a lot, but ever since they merged with Disney, I stopped kind of watching them because Disney makes me mad too. Disney, I think they make me more mad than Netflix does at this point because they're like, oh, cool, we're going to raise your prices up a whole bunch, and you get ESPN Plus. And I'm like, I don't want it. And they're like, well, then you could pay more without it. And I'm like,
well, technically, Warner Brothers has pissed me off the most because they've canned Batgirl, Coyote versus Acme, and now it looks like they canned another Looney Tunes movie that I can't remember the name of, but I just found out about it.
Well, they've messed up that Salem's Lot remake that they've been working on for years too now.
Oh, I thought like they were making one, and then I just never heard about it.
It's like in limbo. Like they're like, okay, well now we're bringing it to theaters, and they're like, no, just joking, it's going to HBO. And then they're like, no, just joking, it's just not coming out. And then they did that.
I mean, they're putting all this money. They're putting all this money into Pennywise and the Drewberry City or whatever it's called.
The Drewberry City.
I don't know what Derriere or whatever the place is called.
Yeah. Welcome to Derry. That other thing, and I'm like, I don't.
And they're like, well, I love that. I love the announcement of it because when it first happened, they were like, but Bill Skarsgård is not going to. Pennywise isn't in it. And then like a year and a half has gone by, and they're like, oh, just kidding. He's back. Are y'all happy now?
People were just probably like, who cares about that show? Then I don't want to watch like everyday lives of people.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it. I think it is overhyped mostly. I don't think I've never read the book. I have attempted to listen to the audiobook, and I made it about 15 hours, which is not halfway through the book.
No, that's yeah. It's,
I mean,
like
it is a
1,400
slog.
pages.
That's a slog. That's probably like 80 pages. Yeah, it's like, I mean, I don't even understand. Like, I just think it's funny, Stephen King, like teaching writing. He's like, don't concentrate on stuff, and then it's like 4 pages about a tree. It's like, what the fuck?
His tree was here when my father lived on the land, and my father's land was here before he was even in existence, and everything was. Shut up! Like, I get it. You're a good writer. You've made some amazing stuff. We've covered tons of stuff on the show, but like, chill, Stephen King. And now his new thing is just show up and hype up a movie, and be like, "Yep, I loved it."
Well, apparently he liked the movie we're talking about.
Oh, of course he did. He likes everything.
He went on Twitter and said so.
He does it to everything now, I swear.
Well, he actually basically just said the last 25 minutes is incredible, which it's hard to argue.
Kind of agree with him on that.
I mean, it's hard to argue, right? Like, I mean, there's a middle section that's really good, and then the end.
You say really good. I say I'm not sure about that.
The part where there's like a rave down in the it's not a rave, but there's a bunch of people.
We're gonna talk about it because
Under Paris 2024. It is a French, and I don't. Why do you not like the dubbing? I mean, I watch it with dubbing. It's just fine.
So I thought it was going to be a found footage film initially, but I'll talk about this. Like when we talk,
I'll tell you what I thought it was going to be, because I thought it was something completely different.
Let's, before we get into the movie and what we thought and all that stuff, let's just talk about shark movies in general. So what did you say the first shark movie was that you found out?
White Death.
Yeah.
But then in the 50s, there was a movie called The Shark Fighters, which I really feel is just like a sci-fi asylum movie. Like it should, like Sharknado 8, Shark Fighters.
I guess we did cover a shark movie.
We did do Sharknado, but that's very loosely a shark movie.
Yeah. So there's, I'm trying to find a movie. It's not, so I thought it might have been, I watched all these too, but so sci-fi, you mentioned Sci-Fi and Asylum. I kind of love their giant like monster movies. They're so like bad.
Two-headed Shark Attack.
They did Mega Shark. So it started with Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. Then it was Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus. Then it was Mega Shark versus Mecha Shark. And then
I need to see that one. I love
better. It gets better. And they finished the series off with Mega Shark versus Colossus, which I don't know. I gave it a 1 out of 10 on IMDb. But yeah, it was
what is Colossus?
It was basically like just a big like kaiju monster type of thing, but robots, kind of like Pacific Rim. They were trying to cash in on that. Okay, I remember the villain that the guy fought in the other one. Let me find it here. There. All right, here we go. So these are my favorite. Sharktopus.
Oh yeah, Sharktopus is great.
The Sharktopus series. So it started with Sharktopus, right? That was like one of their first, stupid monster movies in 2010. So it was Sharktopus. Then it was Sharktopus versus Terracuda. And then after that, this is the one that I always remember. It's Sharktopus versus Whale Wolf. So and me and Peyton were like at his house one day, and it came on, and I was like, "Dude, wake up! You gotta watch this." He's like, "What is it?" And I'm like, "It's Sharktopus versus Whale Wolf," and he's like, "You're an idiot! Like, why would I need to see this?" Or maybe I wasn't at his house, but I know I like called him. It was like 2 a.m, and I was like, "You got to check this out." So, yeah, no, and it's so stupid, and I remember watching it and actually like enjoying it. But yeah, then that, and then those are the dumb ones. Then there's a couple other ones, the like two-headed shark attack.
Two-headed shark attack, and then there's three-headed shark attack.
Then it just skips 4 and goes to 5 and then 6.
Oh really? They skip 4?
Trejo's in one of those, isn't he? I mean, I guess it shouldn't really.
I don't know, but he's going to be on Fanboy this year, and I want to go just for him.
Let me tell you which one he's in because I know he's in it. I'll figure it out. Anyway, I think it's 3, but you should. That'd be cool. And then I wanted to say, so we have that kind of movie. We have the realistic kind of movie, which is mostly just Jaws. And everything else is just kind of a Jaws ripoff. We have like all the Italian shark movies. Like the Italians were like, uh-oh, we got to cash in on this shark craze. And they made like, what is it, Jaws 5? The Revenge.
Cruel Jaws.
Cruel Jaws, yeah. Yeah, it has nothing to do with it.
And then we had Orca, which was not a shark, but
we had that.
Kind of a ripoff. Deep Blue Sea, though, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's true. I watched all 3 of those. It was weird. There was like a 15-year gap in between 1 and 2, and then 3 wasn't too bad.
I only saw but the rest of them just went to DVD, right?
Yeah, I think they premiered on Sci-Fi. Actually, one of them anyway.
Shocking,
right? But those aren't too bad. Then we have like, what's that one I'm thinking of? It's not Shark Night 3D, but is that a movie?
Oh, yeah, I think it is.
What's the
one?
It
is a movie.
There's one where he's like in the grocery store. So there is a Shark Night.
Yeah, there is. I never saw it, but I remember it because it was supposed to be like.
Oh, okay. I know what it was.
What?
I'm thinking of Bait. So there's a movie called Bait. A freak tsunami traps shoppers in a coastal Australian supermarket inside the building, along with 12-foot great white sharks. That's the one I'm thinking of, and it kind of reminded me of the alligator movie Crawl. Under the house that has.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about.
The square footage of like Disneyland.
All right, I just found a list of 26 of the most frightening shark movies. Okay,
all right, let's hear them.
Or the best shark movies of all time.
Okay,
this is according to Men's Health. Let's go.
Yeah.
Number 1, Jaws, of course. The next one is The Shallows.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say we have The Shallows. We have 47 meters down Uncaged.
This one's, hold on. There can't be that many shark movies. Those are going to be on here. The Reef. Never heard of it.
I think I've seen it.
The Requiem. Oh, that's new. Newer. That was with Alicia Silverstone.
Really?
Yeah, a couple of years ago. Then you got The Meg.
Yeah.
Bait 3D. 47 meters down. Great White from 2021. Shark Night 3D. Sharknado. Deep Blue Sea. Mako, The Jaws of Death. That was 76.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah. Open Water.
Oh, there! I found that movie with Alicia. Oh no! I'm looking at the score on IMDb for the Requiem or whatever.
Yeah.
And IMDb has generous ratings, 2.6 out of 10.
Out of 10.
It's on Hulu if you want to watch it.
There's apparently a movie called Planet of the Sharks.
Yeah.
Okay, this list is loose.
Okay, I found another one that I wanted to watch. It was another foreign language one that popped up on Amazon last year. It's called The Black Demon. It reminded me of Meg. Yeah.
This list is loose because Finding Nemo is on here.
Well, it is Men's Health, so
Shark's Treasure from 76.
Wait, so Finding Nemo made it, but A Shark's Tale didn't?
Well, hold on, we're not done yet.
Oh, okay.
Dark Tide.
Okay.
Toxic Shark.
I think I've seen that.
What's worse than a regular shark? One that spews toxic acid from its mouth. Shark Lake.
I've seen Toxic Shark. It was
The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Ghost Shark. That is sci-fi all over.
Yeah.
The Black Demon, like you mentioned. Oh, you'll be happy to know Shark Tale is on here.
Oh, thank God. Oh,
The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
There's one. There's one I loved.
Oh, this is funny. This one, it's Cyclones on here, and that's from that Mark Cardona box set.
Really? Good. Go order that. We're gonna watch it.
I know. I need to order it.
All right. So check this out.
This one's mean. This one's mean to be on this list. Is Soul Surfer.
Oh. Well,
it's not so much a shark movie
this list
as it is a redemption story, but I guess there is a shark.
So, did we have somebody on that we talked about shark movies? Was it Justin?
No, it's Sharknado. We had Ryan Buds from Sharknado.
No, I know, but did we not have Justin come on?
And talk about shark movies? I don't know.
I can't remember, but I know this one right here, Santa Jaws. Though he just
that was a Christmas. He was on the Christmas episode.
All right, yeah. I knew we talked about it somewhere, but that movie is amazing. I remember because I when all the shark movies were pretty big on it, all the Sharknado stuff, they would do like marathons. So I just DVR handfuls of shark movies, and that was on there, and they were just on my DVR for the longest time. And then my dad's like, I need space, so watch your stupid movies or get them off of my thing. So I was going through watching them, and I remember seeing that, and I was like, this looks so stupid, but it was actually extremely, extremely fun. Bad, but extremely fun, unlike Under Paris. But yeah, it was a good one, and I would say if you could find it, you should watch it. Also, Ghost Shark was good too.
Donald Farmer did Shark Exorcist, and Shark Exorcist 2 is now out.
Okay. I don't know if I've watched those. I feel like I might have.
He also has Catnado coming out in October.
Is that the one I sent you?
I don't know, but I've seen the poster says like the weather is going to be clawful or something. He also has Bigfoot Exorcist coming out.
Who did Dick Shark?
Oh, that's Beelzebub.
That's one of Corey's jams, huh?
To hear Corey. Oh no, Corey, Casey, and Susan. He made his sister or wife watch this movie, and from what I mean, it's not like so. My history with Beelzebub is really nothing except that I heard his name, and then when I was at Scarefest, either last year or the year before, I was walking by and I saw, like, it was after hours or whatever, and I was walking by and I saw like Beelzebub Productions was going to be there, and I was like, oh my god, I can't wait. And then so I was walking through the next day, and I walked by the table, and he was talking to this guy, and he was like, yeah, a lot of people think my stuff is like Toxic Avenger, but like trauma stuff, but it's more than that. And I was like, oh, well, I'm done. I don't need any of that shit. And Corey bought it, and it's basically just a dude fiddling around with boobs the whole time.
Yeah, no, I was going to say Trauma looks like Criterion Collection compared to his stuff. So,
well, Trauma, there's like there's just there's something about Trauma, right? Like there's always. Like they're trying to make a good movie.
Yeah. I think so.
And they do.
Yeah. And I mean, we covered the first Toxic, and looking back, I'd probably rate it different. I like those movies. I think
I love the first one.
Matt was on the show at that point still, and I know he didn't really care for it and said he wasn't going to watch any more like Trauma stuff. And I was like, well,
I mean, I like Class of Nukem High. I think we did that for the show at some point. I've done it for some podcasts.
Poultrygeist is fun. I don't know about fun, but fun.
I mean, Poultrygeist is good. I like it, but it is different.
Sergeant Kabuki Man. I like.
I've never seen it.
Romeo and Juliet.
I've seen Romeo and Juliet.
There's another one I'm thinking of. I could see the stupid poster in my head. It's like red. It don't matter, but they make a lot of stuff. The stuff that they make, I like. The stuff that they kind of purchase and produce or like put out, that's hit or miss.
Yeah,
hit or miss. I bet you could find some of that stuff.
I bet I know where you could find some of that stuff.
Where?
Our good friend Jason down at the dungeon.
That's it. That's it.
He is our favorite sponsor of the show, mostly because he's the only sponsor of the show. But he owns and operates at the dungeon down at Southland. So if you're in the Maryville, Knoxville, Tennessee area, head on down to Maryville specifically, get on East Broadway, find that roundabout, and go behind Southland Books, and you'll find Jason chained up in the dungeon selling all sorts of wares like DVDs, VHS, Beta, 4K, Blu-ray, damn it, what's that one? HD DVD, vinyl records, Laserdisc, video games, all sorts of stuff, and one of the best horror VHS collections you'll find. If you're not in the area, have no fear. Just go to Southland_Dungeon, and he posts all sorts of stuff that he gets in. So if you like something you see, you can send him a message and you can work it out behind the scenes. Now, yeah, he gets in new stuff, some of our favorite boutique stuff, like Visual Vengeance. Wonder when they're coming out with more stuff.
Yeah, I think last year was their first year, or 2 years ago, and I think they put out a total of like 12 or 14
I thought they were only going to do like a certain amount, and that was it.
Maybe that, well, because Visual Vengeance was like an offshoot of Raw something Pictures, right?
Sure.
Or Wildlife Releasing, or one of those. Anyway, but their movies aren't like great, but they're interesting and fun, kind of. They had what was it, Scream Queen with Linnea Quigley. They had 3 Bloody Bodybuilders from Hell that you really liked. They did the Chupacabra one, In the Heartland of Darkness or something like that, I think was another one.
Reptilic?
No, I'm thinking of the one Vinegar Syndrome just announced.
I know, that's what I was having trouble with. But anyway, they did a bunch, and they did the AIDS Jabber, LA AIDS Jabber.
Yeah. Oh, there was like a Suburban Sasquatch was the other one?
Sasquatch, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, like what some of those movies are. It'd be interesting if I actually watched the stuff that I bought, because then I could tell you.
Don't want to break the chain there.
No, you're right. I don't.
So anyway, go visit Jason or just friend him on Instagram. He shows some cool pictures and might jog your memory from some movies that you've forgotten all about. But a movie we won't forget too soon is Under Paris, which I thought was a massive flooding that Paris was underwater, and then there was a shark. There were sharks infested.
Okay,
which I guess is the sequel. Spoilers.
Yeah. So I guess I don't know why my brain. When I think of,
were you thinking of As Below, so far above?
Well, isn't that Italy too? Like, or is that French? Like France, they go to France. That I actually like As Above, So Below.
Yeah, that one's French.
Okay, yeah. So they go to the catacombs or whatever. The catacombs are in this. Didn't realize the catacombs were like flooded in any capacity, but I don't live in France. I don't know. So when I don't know anything. When I thought of this one, there's sharks and all that stuff. I was like, why didn't they just put it in Venice? Like, it would have been easy to just make a shark movie in Venice if they wanted to go that route, but they went this route, and it's interesting, sort of. But like,
well, I mean, it's a French-made movie, so this is like a French blockbuster that you would get, like the Meg. I mean, it is very comparable to the Meg, I think.
I mean,
because it's so ridiculous.
The action's over the top. Big shark, so like I'm like on board for that. This one, it's like a normal sized shark that like magically generates a bunch of other sharks.
It's Godzilla. It's the American Godzilla, dude.
in the stadium, like nobody saw a giant Godzilla walk into the stadium to like lay eggs.
Birth 600 eggs.
They made a bunch of Jurassic Park velociraptors for some reason.
Oh,
but
that movie.
You know, they do that autopsy on the shark. She's like, oh my God, it's a new species.
We've created a new species.
All right, so we're not going to do spoilers really at all.
Oh, yeah, we are. Who the fuck cares? Watch this movie. It's free on Netflix. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to pay for it.
Opening, like a 12 to 15 minute opening, right?
It's cliffhanger, man.
It is, yeah. We get this like research team that's out in the middle of the ocean in a pile of trash for some reason, French trash ocean, and they're like, "Oh, we got to."
That's what they do with their garbage. They just dump it in the ocean.
Well, I know the Olympics are this year in Paris, and they won't let the athletes in the water because it's so disgusting. So, yeah.
Secret about me, Jeff. I love the Olympics.
I like curling, and that's about it.
No, I love swimming. Oh, the swimming is so good. And it just so happens, my wife reminded me, it just so happens, which I need to tell you this because we need to record an extra episode or something because I'm going on vacation in 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be there. So I'm off the whole week. I'm just going to binge the Olympics.
You're just going to go straight up America.
Yeah, when I had my great job many years ago, I took off 2 weeks of the Olympics and just watched the Olympics. And this was when it was still like there was no streaming or anything, you know.
You just had to watch NBC.
And then they split it up on like, you know, what CSNBC
USA
or whatever,
something like that.
Bravo showed it, like all their other ones,
all their affiliates.
But, I mean, the best Olympics that has ever taken place is the one where Bob Costas got pink eye, and every night it just got worse. And they finally had to pull him because that's all anybody was talking about was Bob Costas' pink eye.
I mean, I think Olympics, I always think Michael Phelps as of recent. I mean, I think of the two volleyball.
Biles.
Yeah, the two volleyball, beach volleyball.
Oh, yeah, they were great.
They were so good. Yeah. And I don't know, everything else I kind of think more Winter Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, I like both. I like winter and summer. But my favorite Summer Olympic one, it's on usually like 3:30 a.m. in the morning, and it's the one where it's just a circle, an oval, and people are on bikes, and they're just like, you know, going around, lap, going around. Then somebody shakes it, and they're like, and then it's over. It's like, what? What just happened?
Is that like a fever dream, or is that a real event?
That's a real thing. It's a real event. It's the best.
Fencing's cool. I like watching the fencing.
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, no, I think they even mentioned, so they mentioned something in this, the mayor of Paris or whoever she is. She was like, oh, something, we're having a triathlon, but also the Olympics are coming. So I didn't know if it was like spare money that they had for getting the Olympics, if they just made this movie and like casually. And they're like, here, I don't know, do something completely stupid. And they're like, got it, perfect, shark movie. And some old World War II ammunition. But anyway... you know, so we get that team at the beginning, and basically everybody except one person bites it, and she gets like dragged through the ocean. Like the CGI is so stupid at the beginning, like it drags her so far down, and then she would get, you know, what's that thing you get when you come back up too fast and you die?
I don't know, but more important. So I forgot about this part.
Yeah.
Until you just mentioned it. But it takes her down, and then her eardrum busts.
Yeah, because she goes too far down.
So I thought they were going to make her deaf or something.
Yeah. No, she's fine.
Nope. 3 years later, A-okay.
You know why? Because she cut her hair. And that's a big character arc change right there.
I mean, But see, you're judging this movie. So I think I understand the problem, right? With Meg, it's sort of an unbelievable premise. So that makes everything in that movie fine because the premise is unbelievable.
Right. I think,
but with this movie, it's based in real life. So
yes,
so none of the things that happen in this movie are kind of realistic.
Right. So when Stephen King says the last 25 minutes of this movie are amazing, that's where I'm on board. Like, okay, we put all that other stuff behind us at that point, and then we just have a crazy shark movie. And I'm like, yes. Why did we not do this sooner?
But
because
I mean, I think
until this point, we have that research team. We have like a detective squad of police, like the police that just patrol the canals.
The river brigade. Sounds like a G.I. Joe team.
It straight up is. We have them. We have like the politicians. We have an environmentalist group we're like this. She's like, we have to find the shark because that'll save the environment. And I'm thinking, okay, how? And they're like, we got to bring her to this place and then it'll do it. And I'm like, okay, how? And they're like, we're not going to tell you. We're just actually all going to get killed. And the chaos scenes when the chaos happens are amazing because people are falling and getting pulled into the ocean. And
well, not even the ocean, whatever the catacombs.
Yeah.
Like this whole environmentalist thing. I mean, to me, outside of the end, I mean, the part where they go down to the catacombs and they're having like this seance or something to bring the shark to, like, I don't know. The whole premise of them being friends with this shark is stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand what they're like. We're the youth and we have to save the world at this point. And I was like, I don't understand how they're going to do that. They're just trying to be friends with the shark.
But it's like that girl with the grumpy face. She doesn't know how she's going to do it either. She just knows it's bad.
I don't know.
You know that Greta girl, the one that's always like,
yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
She doesn't know how to save it. She just wants to talk about how fucking terrible it is.
Sternberg or something like that.
God, she just looks like a most miserable person.
And that's more miserable than me and you. And like, we're
right up saying a lot. If I'm calling you miserable, woo.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's just so weird. Like some of the choices they made, because it's an hour and like 45 minutes, basically.
Should have been an hour and a half.
Yeah, I mean that's always a complaint that I have is time, and not just because I'm not limited to time I have that I could dedicate to movies because I could fit stuff in here or there. I don't have to sit in like one sitting, or I just don't watch movies like that. I can't most of the time just because of whatever reason. But
it's called ADHD. Jeff.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Welcome. And mine is worse as an adult than as a child.
Oh, it's awful. I used to veg out as a kid. Now I'm like, I gotta get up every 2 minutes.
Video games, I could sit there for 3 hours just playing Street Fighter 2. Same fucking opponent. Now, ain't gonna happen.
But yeah, no, it's just like, so the time thing, it's like they have all these different things going on. And if they would have paid off in some way, I would have been on board with all these different ideas. But really, it was just like little ideas to get us to our next part of the movie. You know what I mean? And really, the only part of the movie we wanted to get to was the last 25 minutes.
But I mean, in a way, that's good. Like you're building to something.
Yeah, but the payoff, I guess, all right. So then I got to look at it a little bit differently and just tell.
I don't hate this movie as much as you. You obviously hate this movie.
I don't hate it, but like I just had a lot of issues with it.
I need you to watch Meg 2 and then come back to me.
All right, I'll do it.
That's your next movie. How I've seen a movie and you haven't. You should be embarrassed of yourself.
If it's still on Max or whatever, I'll give it a watch.
I'm sure it is. And it was successful.
Yeah, but the thing with the Meg, it came from like a bunch of a series of novels that were like weird, realistic novels. Like,
well, yeah, but I mean that's where the title, from what I've heard, that's where it stops.
They just took the title. They're like, that sounds cool, big megalodon shark, and they're like, let's call it the Meg.
And then they're like, who we're gonna put in it? Jason Statham. Oh, it's a different movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Beekeeper yet? I want to see that.
Mm-mm. But I did see that Prime added it, so
you need to. We don't have Prime anymore. Damn it. You need. I need a list of like 4 or 5 movies to watch on vacation.
Tokyo Drift.
I own it on digital.
Okay, well then just watch that 4 times.
All the Fast and Furious movies?
No, just Tokyo Drift, because that's the best one.
Whatever.
I love Tokyo Drift. I love it.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but I mean the best one is is just some. I just love the one where they're on the airplane runway for like the last half hour of the movie. That's the best one.
Their action sequences are amazing in that because they're like, what stupid thing can we focus on for way too long? And they're like, yeah, a runway. Okay, cool. A giant frozen lake. Yeah, and there's a submarine in it. Of course there is. Why would there not be a submarine in it? So, but yeah, no, like that franchise, as dumb as it is, knows what it's doing, and it's amazing. Like,
oh yeah, it's great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate this movie. Like the last 25 minutes is great. I don't necessarily want to give that away, but the cover of the movie gives it away.
Yeah.
That is the last scene of the movie.
Yeah.
And so if you want an ending to this movie, you're not going to get it. And I was trying to see a sequel hasn't been greenlit yet, although it's been very popular for Netflix. So
yeah, it was in their top 10. I
think it's like 47 million views in the first like few days.
Are they more like transparent now about how many people are watching their stuff?
If it's popular.
Do you know Seinfeld's on Netflix?
Or if they want to continue it, you know, I mean, I do feel like the fucking, what's that? Our favorite show was
Seinfeld.
The Santa Clarita Diet.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, so good. I want to know the numbers on that because everybody I know watched that show.
Did it? I haven't.
Oh, it's so good.
After season 3?
3.
Or there was a thing.
It was the death knell of the 3rd season for like 3 years. Just if a show made it 3 seasons, then they'd cancel it.
Yeah, I think the reason was because they usually sign people on for a 3-year contract, a 3-season contract. Then if it's too popular, they want more money, so they can the show. So
and this had Drew Barrymore and Timothy Olyphant, who are very popular, especially now.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, so they had like the opposite business model of everything else. It's like if a show's successful, can it? Everyone else is like, we're not getting any watches, can it? And they're like, we're getting too popular, get rid of it, and then we'll pick up. And then they go and pick up a show that had like 5 seasons on some other network or other streaming platform.
Manifest.
And then they're like, all right, this is ours now. This is mine. Come here. This is my new baby.
Manifest was that way.
Yeah, my dad watched that one actually.
Oh, you know what's on Netflix now?
Seinfeld. I'll keep saying it. Oh, yeah, I did see that when I paused Under Paris for like 45 minutes. It was going through all the little like screens where it's like coming soon or this is on there now. And I saw Lost and I was like, when did that get on here? And I was like, I better start it again because that's where I originally watched Lost was Netflix.
Oh no, I mean I will go down fighting that Lost is the last true like network drama. What do you call those? Like telling a story, like, you know, long form.
Yeah.
That existed because now it's like 12 episodes.
Yeah.
And back then they were doing 22 to 24.
Yeah. I mean, there's the 8 to 12 episode runs of stuff that we get now for basically all streaming. Then there was Lost, but then you have something like Chicago PD or
well, they're just ongoing.
But that's what I was going to say. So then you have those that have like 646 episodes per season, and you're like, how do they do that? Like
Grey's Anatomy is almost in season 20, and I think around 13 it was canceled. Or not canceled, but they weren't going to do it anymore.
Well, they lost Patrick Dempsey at that point. I don't know. I just remember him being in it. And who's the other girl, the blonde girl that was in
Katherine Heigl?
Yeah, the one that everybody says she's a pain. But I don't know.
Well, it doesn't work anymore?
I don't blame her. Make your money and get out.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think anybody will hire her because she's a pain.
I know how it goes, Catherine. Nobody hires me because...
So you hated Under Paris. I liked it. If they have Netflix, would you recommend it?
I don't know. I would say yes, just for the last third of the movie.
I would say if you like the Meg, there's no way you can not like this movie. I just stand by that. Like,
okay,
it's ridiculous. It's got some fun scenes. It does have some scenes where it's just talky bullshit, but it's fine. Watch it. The reason Jeff didn't like it is he watched it on subtitles and he should have just watched it dubbed. And I'm just going to warn you, this winter, we're going to do Dead Snow.
Yeah.
And you have to watch it dubbed. That's the only way to watch that movie. It makes it 10,000 times funnier. Like, I mean, it's why I think that that Dead Snow is the perfect horror comedy. Like, better than Evil Dead, anything. It is the perfect horror comedy.
All right, I'll watch that dubbed. I mean, if that's the requirements of what we're watching. But I think, you know, what hurt this one for me is just like going into it expecting it to be the way that it started out. I guess I should have known when she got dragged under the water like that with the bad CGI. I should probably my expectations should not be where.
Yeah, the shark CGI is not great.
Yeah,
it's all very fast, and I mean, there's one point. In order for the scene to happen, it was down in the catacombs, but in order for the shark to face the way it is and to get the guy, like, it would have had to come through the wall. Like, there was no other way for it to, like, and it's just...
There was a bunch of, like, weird shaky shark shots, too, where the shark was, like, on screen and it was just like... You're like...
I like how they got the one... They had that one, like, money shot.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, it's good. We're doing it again. And they do it at the end of the movie, too.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the same shot, so... All right. Well, that's the show for today. We don't know what we're going to do next week because we didn't know what we were going to do this week. I think originally we may have said we were going to do stop motion. But it would be hard to talk about. I recommend it a lot, but I don't necessarily want to talk about it.
Okay. I started...
I mean, but it's really good.
I started that Where Evil Lurks or When Evil Lurks or whatever.
When Evil Lurks.
And I mean, that was like super like popular amongst the horror crowd. So
we can do it, and then maybe that Violence of Nature. I want to see it too.
Oh, and Violent Nature. Yeah. When is that coming out to streaming?
I thought it would already be out on Shudder, but it's still not.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's not lock that in yet, but you know, that could be coming up in the future here.
All right, we'll be doing a serial killer kind of thing coming forward. Or maybe an indie, you know.
Maybe some Shudder exclusives. I gotta watch some stuff on there so I could justify the $7 a month.
Yeah. All right. Well, if they like this show, what could they do to help support us, Jeff?
They should like it. It's amazing. They could go to Spotify or Apple Music. They can give us a rating or review. They can listen and download episodes. They could tell their friends. They could do a lot of things. If you guys want it on the video format, which we were putting up on YouTube, and I think we still are, you could go on there, subscribe, and like our videos. If you guys want to see anything in particular, you can always send us an email at, where are we?
nightofthenerdylaser@gmail.com. And we have an email. I forgot.
Oh, we do?
Ding, 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 ding. Let me pull it up.
And I hope it's another hate one.
Don't get too excited there, buddy.
Is it Taco?
No, it's my friend Steve.
Oh, there you go.
he had a pod. Well, okay, so long time ago. I don't even know if you know this, Jeff, but I had a podcast called Subject Matter.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I mean, probably 10 to 12 years ago.
Okay.
And actually longer than that, 2010, I think. So my buddy Steve started doing one, and he just asked if he could use that name, and I was fine with it. I don't care. And so this is under the Subject Matter email, which he doesn't do the podcast anymore, but he should. But it says, "Hello guys, just want to reach out and say you guys are doing an amazing job. Keep up the great job." So
hey, Steve.
Thanks, Steven. So you could be cool like Steve, and you too could send an email, nightofthenerdylaser@gmail.com. You can follow us on all the socials. It's real easy, guys. Night of the Nerdy Laser podcast. If you're not streaming, if you're not subscribed and streaming our show on YouTube, then you should be. So give us that like, give us that follow. Anywhere you're listening, Spotify or anything, tap that follow button. It means the world to us. Every time you do, my heart gets a little bigger. And until next time, what should they do, Mr. Jeffrey?
They should keep it bloody.
Because somebody has to make a shark movie.
Yes.
Shit. I didn't know what the hell you were doing. I thought you were having a stroke or something.
No, that was my dub.
Oh. This is mine.